The Modern Man tutorials. Alpha male bad, beta male good. I always go back to the understanding that when the red pill started becoming a thing, started growing on the internet, it was on the premise of, alpha males being the type of guy that chicks, women, right, pick. They pick them the most, but they're the ones that they shouldn't be picking, because those are the ones that don't be loyal, right? They're the ones that don't, that don't want monogamy. They're the ones, because a lot of chicks chase them. They be like, well, why have one when I can have them all? So they become assholes, right? So they were the enemy of red pill, right? So the whole original premise of the red pill community was the idea that simps and fuckboys, aka alpha males, right, are a problem in relationships, right? You got good guys, which are the betas, being overlooked or being mistreated by ladies because the ladies are chasing the alphas, but the alphas don't want them. They want them for sex, yes, but they don't want them for relationship. They don't want to deal with them, talk to them, be nice to them, which is why they're usually assholes. That's why they're not romantic. That's why they want you to be okay with them having multiple women, because they want multiple women. They don't want to pick one. They want to be greedy. They want to have their cake and eat it too, and that was part of the problem, right? Alpha males are the male equivalent to female 304s, right? Females who want to be out here, be promiscuous, and be having a whole bunch of dudes. Have guys in their friend zone, have guys in their DMs, have guys, in and out of their house, but then want to end up with a rich, tall, good-looking, successful guy who doesn't want to have sex with any other woman but her. But then at some point she decides she just doesn't want to have sex no more for some reason, right? But she loves the lifestyle. She loves that he pays for everything. She does nothing, right? And she doesn't have to bring that to the table. He has to bring everything to the table, blah, blah, that type of nonsense, which never plays out, right? So then I get back to the idea there's like, alpha males were always the fuck boys, the guys, the guys who cheat on the chicks, who lie to the chicks, right? Just because they want sex, make them promises that they don't keep, right? Lying to them. And they were always the bad guys, right? They're always the wrong guy to choose from, the guy that the ladies complain about. But they're the same guys that the ladies keep choosing. It's the female's fault for choosing those guys, not those guys being those guys, because they are who they are, right? Just like we tell guys, like, hey, if a chick wants to be with a whole bunch of dudes, fine, let her do whatever she wants, right? Don't pick her, pick better. Just like we tell ladies to pick better, right? Don't pick the fuck boy. We tell you guys, don't pick the 304. That's simple, right? But then after a while in the red pill community, they'll start talking about like the pros and cons of being alpha and beta, right? Betas get used and blah blah blah, right? Alphas get all these benefits, mainly sex, right? So they start saying that alphas get sex, so alpha fuck, beta bucks, right? So it's like, you guys on average, aka you guys they always view you guys as beta. You're beta, you'll be used for your money, but if you're alpha, you'll get sex. So since guys want sex, the idea of like, okay, then I'll be alpha then, because alphas get to have sex, betas apparently don't. So I'd rather be alpha than beta, right? So I'd rather be part of the problem instead of being part of the solution, right? I'd rather be part of the problem. If fuckboys are out here fucking, then I want to be one, and that's where things pivoted. Before it was being a fuckboy was bad, to now it's like, oh, you need to be a fuckboy. Women want fuckboys. Women desire fuckboys. If you're not a fuckboy, you have no value. Blah 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 blah, right? So a woman, right? I love saying that a woman's value is determined by her maintaining her value, right? by her not being with a whole bunch of dudes. But a guy's value is by being with a whole bunch of women. Now there is some truth to that. The thing is that, you know, how people are. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So then you got guys going to the extreme. So in the red pill community, you got a lot of guys going to the extreme and be like, oh yeah, chicks do like guys who have some sexual experience. So then they over exaggerate and be like, that means I can have sex with as many chicks as I want because it won't matter because I will be desirable. Not realizing this, like, having couple bodies makes you desirable. Having a whole bunch of bodies makes you not desirable. Females will like you less, respect you less. Right? And then there's the fact that because you have this mindset of, oh yeah, having sex with a whole bunch of chicks, more than just a couple, then that puts you in the mindset of like, well, I'm not going to wife up any chick. Why? When I could just keep fucking until the day I die. So then you become a fuckboy, right? You become that which the red pill community originally hated. Red pill originally hated fuckboys and incels because they're the ones who create the hookup, right? Fuckboys create the hookup culture, right? Instead of people getting into relationships and marriage and living happily ever after, it's just fucking and ducking, right? The fuckboy culture, right? Hookup culture. And then the simps make it where chicks are like, oh, I'll be independent. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Yeah, because you have an army of simps giving you attention and money, right? Resources, attention and resources. So of course you don't need a man when you have all these men, all these idiots, all these simps sympathy. So of course you don't need a man in that context. So then now the male and female, you know, gender war, right, became a thing. So that created a problem. So that's why it's like, yeah, alphas were the bad guys, betas are the good guys, and the incels are obviously the bottom of the barrel because they're the ones that could be beta, right? They could upgrade to beta and be a decent human being, but they rather be a piece of shit instead. Some are unfortunately in the incel category, not by choice, but then a large majority are there by choice. So that's the thing. But you know, like I said, it's like the alphas were the bad guys, betas were the good guys, and the idea was like, good guys, y'all gotta improve, y'all gotta get better, y'all gotta start going to the gym and building up your finances, your money, right? Start becoming the best version of yourself so you can compete with the fuckboys. So that way when the ladies are out here choosing who they're going to pick, you will be a better pick because at least you will kind of look like the fuckboys, right? And ideally, you're supposed to look better than them, right? You're supposed to be in better shape than them, more money than them, more clout, right? More status than them, aka high value man. So you're supposed to stand out from the crowd, and that way the women will choose you instead of the fuckboys. And then because you're a decent guy, right? You're the beta, you're a good guy, you got good personality, plus, you know, you were in shape, money, this, that, and third, and you made the best version of yourself. Now females will end up with the best guy, best quality dudes. So they will end up with the beta, but in their mind, oh, I got me an alpha, I got me the best guy I can get. And it's like, yeah, but the best guy you can get was always that guy you friend zone. That's why we always say, like, ladies, you're looking for the perfect guy, he's in your friend zone. The thing is, he's not upgrading, he's not leveling up while he's there, so that way he can get out the friend zone and be that guy. And that's the thing. So the red pill was supposed to teach guys to be chosen, right? To be the guy that gets picked when ladies are out here looking for a guy. Remember, because ladies pick for sex, guys pick for relationship. So the idea was to make you more desirable for sex, right? So when ladies look at you like, oh, I want to fuck him, and then it's like, good. And he's also a decent human being, and he won't cheat on you, and this, that, and the third. And if he is interested in having sex with another woman, he'll ask for permission. You know, he'll run it by you. He won't run it behind you. He'll run it by you. And more likely, especially from my personal experience, you'd be surprised how many ladies are okay with, you know, you being with another woman. They're just not okay with you lying to them, you know, them finding out from somebody else. They definitely don't want the whole world to know, so they'll gladly let you be with another woman as long as you keep it on hush hush. That's it. They don't. Ladies are simple. They're not as complicated as you might think they are. The problem is y'all make it complicated. And the red pill was supposed to teach you, to understand women, how they're a lot like us, how simple they are. I mean, you can see it when you look online. You see some ladies, the way they be behaving is like, yeah, you ladies act like we act. So we should be able to get along. So the idea of guys and ladies, guys and gals not getting along makes no sense. It's like we have a lot in common. Yes, we are different, but we have a lot in common. And that's the main point. It's not that we're the same, it's that we have things in common, right? We're on the same planet. We eat almost the same type of food. Like we need water, we need food, right? We need sleep. So we have a lot in common, but we're not the same. That's a good thing, right? Diversity, the spice of life. So, and that's why it's important to know the difference, the diversity of the male species, for example, right? The alphas, the betas, and the incels or sigmas. So it's very important to know which category you are. Betas are supposed to be good, but now people are trying to make it like, oh, you're beta, like it's a bad thing. It's like you're beta. It's like a way of saying somebody's a simp. It's like no, a simp is a simp. Simp is worse than a beta, right? A beta is just a good dude, and that's it. Now, good dudes do get taken advantage of, just like good females get taken advantage of, and that's not cool. And that's the thing. Betas are between the incels, right? The female haters, and the guys the females hate, right? And then the fuckboys. The guys that females chase, but shouldn't because they're not good quality dudes. They're assholes, and they're the shittiest of the group. On the opposite end, right? So they're the extreme on the guy spectrum, and incels are the other extreme of the guy spectrum. But in between, in the middle, right, the balance is the betas, right? Beta for balance, B for balance. But it's just ironic that now we're tainting the whole beta, making it where beta is bad, alpha is good, and it's like, no, that's incorrect. Alpha was bad, beta is good. But no surprise that people are trying to flip things around, switch things around, because they're, that's the world we living in now. That's the generation we're in, where they're trying to make good bad and bad good. So not surprised that that's happening, which is why I'm making this video, to point that out and to make it very specific. Men are good, males are bad. Immature males are bad, right? Men are good, right? Alphas are bad, betas are good. That's just facts. But everybody's trying to flip it and switch it. I think you got a whole bunch of these guys out there saying they're alpha, and they're all women want alphas. It's like, no, large majority of females make the bad decision of dealing with a guy with alpha personality traits, narcissism, right? Selfishness, a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, right? All that shit. Total asshole who would treat you like shit, who won't be romantic, who won't go down on you, and the list goes on and on, right? All these negatives that is associated with alpha. But when it comes to beta, there's all these positive. The only negative when it comes to beta is not being appreciated, right? It's being used. Being second place, right? Being chosen second. Ladies would chase the alpha, right? Because A is before B in the alpha, right? So they'll chase that alpha. They'll chase the first choice, which is the alpha. But the second choice is always the beta, right? Plan B. So plan A is the alpha, the guy who don't give a shit about the chicks. Plan B is the good guy, the guy who does care, who would treat you good. So it's like, first I'm going to go chase the guy who treats me like shit, and maybe I can get him to treat me better. But that typically doesn't happen. So why even bother, right? but they truly believe they're special enough to break the rule, right, and be the exception that they will, get the alpha and live happily ever after. But that usually doesn't happen. So then Plan B, aka the beta. But that's the funny thing is like the beta always ends up winning at the end. The alpha is winning at the beginning, but the beta is the one who wins at the end. And it's better, and I prefer to win at the end. So, we all start off as noobs, as they say, right? When you start playing a game, you're not going to be perfect at it. You're going to suck and you're going to be losing a lot. But eventually you'll get better and you'll start winning more. So I'd rather win at the end than to win at the beginning. Because if I win at the beginning, then that means I'm going to lose at the end. I'd rather lose at the beginning and learn from my losses and constantly win at the end, right? So alpha is bad, beta is good. That was always the case until they changed it and they started pivoting. Now I'm starting to see the red pill is going a different direction towards more the LGBT side, if you know what I mean. And they're definitely going very misogynist. So now the red pill is becoming more of incel propaganda, I guess is what I call it. Because they've definitely been feeding the incels as well as they are now trying to become the kings of incels. So I wouldn't be surprised that they start talking about that incels, they have a bad rep and it's wrong and they need to be respected more and this, that, and third, and they need a voice and this, that, and third, and all this extra nonsense is like, oh my god, now we're going to try to make it where every guy wants to be an incel. They're probably going to label it as Sigma. Yeah, I'm a Sigma male, instead of, so first it was beta good, alpha bad, right? But then it was like, no, alpha is good, beta bad. And then eventually they're going to be like, oh, Sigma is good because Sigma is better, this, that, and third. And it's like, oh my god. I mean, I saw that a little bit on TikTok when people were like talking about Sigma and Sigma's better than alpha and that stuff. Somebody even tried to say I was a Sigma, that I'm more of a Sigma than an alpha. I'm like, I'm neither of those. Especially, I'm not gonna let a guy judge me and label me what he thinks I am. That's irrelevant. The whole alpha beta thing only really matters and applies when it comes to the ladies. If ladies are chasing after me, okay, then that means I'm alpha. Because I'm very desirable. But I see myself more as beta. But if the ladies are chasing after me and I'm very popular with the ladies, which I am, then okay, then I'm alpha in their eyes. And that's the only eyes that matter. Let's stay in the video.